there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner here on Vancouver Island in Canada. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Thursday, February the 9th, 2023, and this is video number 174. How are you all doing? I hope you're well and staying safe. As the title suggests in this video, I'm going to be talking about a wonderful gift that I received from a good friend of mine. We all know her and love her. Her name's Crystal over at Bag O' Day. I got an email from Crystal, I don't know, maybe about a month ago or so, and she said she had something to send to me, and it arrived. So I had to open it up and take a look, and it did really touch me in, I got a bit emotional, and all the things that were in there were just beautiful. And I did have a peek at the box. On the outside there's like this wonderfully little writing, and I believe it might have been Evelyn's writing saying happy mail. So I thought that was really cute. Thank you to Crystal for this beautiful box of yarn and to her wonderful family. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what is happening in the spring, and the intentions are that we have a bit of a surprise. So yeah, but before I get going, I want to welcome anyone who's new here to the channel. I've set this channel up to talk about all of my knitting, crocheting, and yarny goodies that I have in my life. I absolutely love knitting, crocheting, and everything yarn. So if that kind of thing is of interest, please stick around. I do talk about where I purchase my product from as well when I'm purchasing yarn or tools of my craft. So yeah, and for those who have returned, I want to say a hearty welcome back. And with that, a little story about how Crystal came into my life. Whereas when I was looking at I was knitting for a little bit. I believe I started in like March of 2019, and I knitted for a little while, and then I wanted to start learning how to crochet. So it was probably at the end of 2019, and I was like, now where do I find a tutorial where I can easily follow along and also find someone that I can connect with, so that when you're sitting there and you're wanting to play the video over and over again, that someone sort of like clicks with you. And Crystal was that person for me. So my very first pattern that I made with Crystal was her chocolate bonbon beanie. You might have seen it around the traps. And if you don't know who Crystal is, I'm going to link her channel down below, and I must insist that you go over and say hi. If you're looking to crochet for the very first time, or if you want more advanced skills as well, she's got it all. Over 1,000 patterns to date, and yet still going strong. She's always bringing up these fabulous stitches and ideas for her crafting, and I'm always intrigued to find out what she's up to every time she brings out a new tutorial. So do go across, say hi if you haven't met her before. You will absolutely fall in love with her. She's amazing. And yeah, so from the chocolate bonbon beanie, then on to other shawls that I've done with her, learning new stitches, trial and error, of course, because I was focused so intently on like what she was doing with her hands, and listening over and over again to figure out how I could translate all of that stuff into my own hands and my own crafting. So I have a lot to thank for Crystal for showing me the way, and I'm sure that a lot of us who have picked up crochet in the years while Crystal was around, I'm sure that you have the same things to say as well. So let's take a look at this beautiful box that arrived. Here it is here. Very, very heavy. And each of these items are amazing. It blew my mind. Every one that I took out was like, I'm going to be working with this, because I was talking to Chad and saying, Chad, this one looks amazing. Okay, I have ideas for this one. And then I pulled out the next one. No, I'm going to work with this one. It was a lot of fun. So what we have here in the box first that I can gather together is 5 of these beautiful hanks Look at that. Holy smokes. I love that marl. Actually, marl and heather are my favorites. This is a real kind of woolly, rustic quality of yarn, and I do love my rustic yarns. I think that they hold up very well in a robust anything like knitwear, or if you're making accessories or garments, this is the way to go. So let's take a look at where this one is from. I absolutely love it. It's upside down. Here we go. So it's called Blue Mountain Farms, and I believe they're in Pennsylvania. I did look them up when I got the box of yarn, just to see when I was talking about the yarns, I could direct people to where they are. All these companies that I'm going to feature, if they've got a website associated with them, I will link them. So yeah, this is called Hodgepodge, and it is a 3-ply worsted weight yarn. They've got the things marled together here. So I'm seeing strands of a white and then a variegated, which goes from a bluish color all the way to green and taupe. So I think that's probably going to be the strand that slowly fades in and out of each other. So there might be some striping or kind of like a wash stripe effect going on. And okay, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's 100% natural fibers. So I guess that's natural, like wool perhaps. And it is 200 yards in this skein. It doesn't give me a weight, like how much the skein itself weighs, but I would say it's probably about 100 grams. And so I've got 5 of them, and I'm thinking, I'm really on this kick still from last year, probably early last year, I started making vests. So I think 5 hanks will do wonderful in a vest, like a sleeveless vest, or if I could find something that accompanies with it and to make some sleeves, I'll probably do that too. But I do like wearing my vests, so that's a contender for a vest. I'll put that down here. So the next 2 that I'm going to show you, I kind of lost it when I originally opened the box. I needed a breath for a moment and just stop, because I saw Crystal unboxing these in her videos and thought to myself, wow, the opportunity to use that yarn would be amazing. And I knew, for whatever reasons I have, that I would probably never get around to purchasing the yarn, whether it was because of cost or time it would take to ship. But Crystal has generously given me 2 of these in different colors. And I don't know, I'll just show you because I'm speechless. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? It is the Powerball from Keith. Now, Keith is a yarn dyer, and Crystal always speaks very highly of Keith's work. So it is Yarn Snob, which is the collection, and you can find this in worsted weight as well as, I believe, fingering weight on his website that he has where he sells them, and it is called, I'm just checking my notes, Knits All Done. I always jumble up all the words. So, oh my goodness, it's super, super soft. I absolutely love it, Crystal. It's amazing. Let's take a look at what the label says here. It's 100% superwash merino with a message that says this worsted weight Powerball is approximately 500 grams and offers up 1,090 yards. They're suggesting here to use US knitting needles of size 6 to 8. No recommendation of crochet hook size, but I think around the same, or if you go up half a size, it'll be just as equally nice a fabric. Custom milled in Italy and dyed in the USA. And they also have a different web address down here, which is probably yarnsnobyarns.com. I'm not sure whether that's different or the same as where you can buy both from Knits All Done as well as that website. I'm not too sure, but I will link both of the sites down below. I absolutely love it. What I was thinking of, Oh, I didn't tell you what the name of the colorway was called, and it's called Witch's Shoes. I saw Crystal make something out of her Powerball that she got. I believe it was in the colorway Happy, and it's called Love Wins, and it is a crocheted shawl which uses the moss stitch, so it has this beautiful texture in it. And I was then inspired to take a look at Crystal's other shawl patterns just to see what I could do with this wonderful color. Now I'm thinking it's going to be quite a striking stripe that comes through with all of these high contrast colors. So we got the black, white and red, and I was looking at whether I wanted vertical kind of striping across a shawl, because I was thinking about making a shawl, or if I wanted to have the V shape in the striping following the pattern of a V shawl. But when I was looking, I found both that I could choose from. So one was the Speed of Light, which is one of her patterns that has the horizontal striping in a triangle shape. So I think that would be really interesting for this to play out. And the other one was a V-shaped pattern called Killer Queen. And I equally like both of those. So I'm not too sure whether the contrast will be too busy for both of those patterns, but that's what I'm looking at. So absolutely love it. It's really super duper soft. Not only did I get the Witch's Shoes, but I also got this one here, which is similar in the kind of structure of the blocking of color as the red, white, black one. This one is more of the blues. So one is a really deep kind of bluish green. Yeah, maybe it's bluish green. And then more of a electric blue here. So it could even be black. I'm not sure. How's that reading to you? Maybe it is black. And this one has the same details, and the color is called Keith. So Keith has named this after himself. Absolutely lovely. Again, maybe I might do 1-in-1 shawl with the V's and one shawl with the striping. Yeah, give me your ideas. Tell me what you would make if you had these wonderfully high contrast balls. The next two beauties that Crystal threw in the box for me, I'm super, like, what do you say? I think it just does not seem to cut it, but these two here from Darn Good Yarn, and I did see the unboxing of this one where Crystal asked, what color would you choose, or which one do you like best? I think I actually put my hand up. You know, I knew that no one could see me, but I was picking this one as my favorite. Crystal, thank you so much. Let's take a look at the yarn, and it is Darn Good Yarns. It's sparkle worsted weight silk yarn in the color Winter Mist. So yeah, I would agree. It's kind of a roving style yarn, and I can feel the silk in it. It's quite raw and a little dry. I'm going to say that I can feel that little string of sparkle in there, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's not scratchy. Oh, what could I make with this? Just a wonderful color selection, isn't it? There seems to be a lot of yardage in this. Does it give me the details? So inside the little booklet here that they've attached, it does talk about how Darn Good Yarn is very ethically sourced. It believes in fair trade and growing together showing responsibility to the environment, to people, to, social and economic circumstances. And it's a 4-weight yarn. Here we go. More information. Hand wash, lay flat to dry. The suggested knitting needles here is a 8mm or 9mm, I should say, and crochet hook is a 5mm. So it's strange. It's gone up in knitting needle size, and then it goes down for a crochet size. The weight of the ball here is 250 grams, giving me 375 yards or 342 meters. the color I gave you was winter mint. I would agree. It does look very minty. I would even say aquamarine kind of, or aqua, the color aqua, halfway between blue and green. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's really, really soft, and you can feel the raw silk in it, and it smells amazing. So thank you, Crystal. That's amazing indeed. But wait, there's more. And more. So I have one bag that's sealed and one bag that actually is open of the same yarn. And there's 5 skeins or hanks in each of these. So I've got 10. And oh my God, look at that color. It is a hand-dyed Malabrigo in this beautiful, it's like a brown, not coppery, maybe coppery, gold and specks of burnt, like a burnt sienna or something running through it in speckles. So it's going to offer up beautiful tonal fabric. And it is called color number 31, Mostasa. Mostasa. Now, I know that Malabrigo uses sometimes Spanish names, so I believe Mostasa might be a different foreign word. And if you do know what Mostasa is, because I didn't look it up, please leave in the comment below, because I do get a lot of my educated words from different languages from my viewers. So thank you so much. This is made in Uruguay, and it's Malabrigo. Let's take a look at its Rustita, which is a 3-weight. I'm going to say it's kind of a finer 3-weight, and it's pure merino wool, slightly felted, 310 yards per skein, 285 meters. It is a single ply, 100 grams in the hank, and approximately, it says here to use a US size knitting needle of 6 to 7. And then the gauge, hand wash, lay flat to dry. I most definitely would hand wash and lay flat to dry. But I got the 5 in one pack, and then I also got the 5 in another pack. So I think I'm going to do a full jumper, maybe a cardigan. Yeah, I think I might do a 3-weight cardigan. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to start looking for patterns for this one. Okay, the next yarns that I'm going to show you, I'm super really excited here, as you can tell. I got 5 hanks of this beautiful yarn, and I have used this brand of yarn before, but not in this collection. I've used the Gazzal in Rockstar, or I think it's Rockstar, and I've also used it in Happy Feet. But this Gazzal here is Woolstar, and I purchased mine from Hobium. I'm not sure whether Crystal purchased this one from Hobium, but look at the color, and it's so very squishy and springy, wonderfully soft, high twist on it, and it does have that little elasticity there that I love working with so much. This one here, let's read about it. It is 100% superwash merino fine wool, sorry, and it is 100 grams, offering up 350 meters or 382 yards. It is 1 weight, so it's fingering, and they're suggesting here to use a 3.5 to 4 millimeter set of knitting needles or a 3 to 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. The washing instructions are to machine wash on gentle cold cycle and do not tumble dry. You can dry this laying it down flat. It's made in Turkey, and it says something here about the dye lot numbers, buying enough for your like your whole project all at the one time. So I absolutely love it. So tawny olive is the color, and it's true, it has the brighter olive color. I know that olives are sometimes a darker green. This one is more of the yellowish greens, and I love that. There's a tonal value in there, which you only can get when you're buying hand-dyed yarn. Sometimes they try and replicate it, but I think this one is beautiful, and I can't wait to work this one up as well. So again, I got 5. Really love that. Thank you so much, Crystal. Very, very nice of you to throw those in for me. Another yarn here, also from Gazzal, but in a different collection, is this one. I got a bag of 3, and that's the label there. Again, it's the Gazelle Worm. Interesting name. And this is in the colorway called Jade Green. 100% superwash merino fine wool, same kind of like yarn as the fingering, but this one is in a bulky 5. And look at that color. This is the jade green. Oh my word. It's almost like the way it's twisted, you can see that there is like those plies are kind of like bubbling up, one finer strand around more of a thicker strand, and I think that's going to be a beautiful yarn to stitch up, maybe giving you or giving me the stitch definition for a lovely super scarf or a cowl, a statement cowl with amazing stitch work. I can see something in this being like a crossover stitch, or yeah, or cables if I'm knitting it. Let's take a look at what is inside this. So again, 100% superwash merino fine wool, 150 grams in this hank, giving 120 meters or 131 yards. The care instructions are to wash by hand and lay flat to dry. Suggesting here is a set of 10 millimeter knitting needles or crochet hook. Did they give you one? No, but I probably would say slightly bigger, maybe go up a size. 11 would make something nice, depending on how much drape you want, or if you want a tighter stitch, go down a hook size. This one here is also giving the die lot numbers to buy enough for your full project all at once. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love how it has that little pebbly style effect in the twist, and it's very soft, so there's no undergarments required for this one at all, and in my favorite color. Next one that I have, I was looking at this when I went shopping last time at Hirschner's, and I would say probably the last 3 or 4 times that I've purchased from Hirschner's and Willow Yarns, their sister companies, and it's the Willow Yarns mural. It went in and out of my cart, and then I have it now, so I can try it out and give it a good review because Crystal sent it to me. And oh my goodness, I love the color. They're very much her colors, and I agree, it's a beautiful colorway. It's called Sandstorm, I believe. Let me just take a look. Yeah, Sandstorm, or number 3. I got 2 of them. I have been looking at making my lighter weight shawls, and patterns that I've been looking at do take around 1,000. So with these 2 together, I will have enough meters to complete the scarf and have a whole bunch left over. So I'll give you the details on what this yarn is made up of. It is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. It has a nice lovely twist on it, and they're all together. That's a style that you don't need to have the bead. When you have the loose strand, sometimes it gets a little bit, strands fray out, or they kind of slip out of the knitting needle or the crochet hook. So you get these like flyaways, but this one's all together in a nice twist. And I get 200 grams in this cake, offering up 820 yards, 750 meters. They're suggesting you to use a 2.25 millimeter set of knitting needles or crochet hook. The care instructions is you can machine wash this and tumble dry. That's what the little icons are telling me. And it's made in Turkey. I'll just make sure that you can focus in on that. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. Care instructions, color, very, very soft. I do like it. Lastly, but by no means the least, this is my very, very own. I have one other of these hooks, but this one is a Brian Nelson hook, and I absolutely love it. There's the tip on it there, the recess. It's a J size hook, so I believe that's a 6mm hook. The other one I have is a 5mm hook, and it's in my favorite colors, green. I love it, love it, love it so much. And it has a perfect weight to it. You would expect this to be quite a heavy hook, but really it's a nice lightweight one in hand. And I believe I've seen a lot of the Instagram photographs of how Brian Nelson makes these. Now this is Nelson Woods, that's the name of his online store. I'll leave it down below in the description box. But he uses sometimes resin, sometimes in the resin there's like flowers or there's marbling of color, and then he adds different types of wood to the tip and the hook itself. And I really like it. It's got a nice warm touch to it, and I call them my magic wands, and I probably will choose this one to work up if it calls for the Powerball to be used with a J hook, and that's probably the one that I'll try it out and do a shawl in one of Crystal's designs. So here on the label it says it's yellow green Buckeye burl, and it's with desert rosewood as the, I guess the desert rosewood are the tip and the end, and then the yellow green is this stuff here in the middle. Absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, that's going to go back in here, and I probably will sit and admire all of these wonderful gifts for a little bit before I get going, because I got to make some decisions on like what I'm going to make with them and how I will proceed. Yeah, that is an amazing array of yarn and this wonderful hook. I absolutely love everything that I've just shown you, and that's completes the whole beautiful gift that Crystal has sent me. So I want to say thank you so much. Now a little bit on the surprise that me and Crystal have. It's been released, it's no secret anymore, and I'm going to visit her in the spring, and I'm super excited. I am excited to the point where I'm also throwing in a little bit of anxiousness, but happy anxiousness, because I will be flying on my own, and I haven't traveled on my own for a very long time. I've traveled with family, or I've been with Chad and we've gone places. So this is a trip where I'm really going to appreciate having a familiar face at the end of my journey when I get off the plane, because I have never traveled to the middle of America. I don't know whether you call it Midwest or the middle where Crystal is. And Crystal's going to be also breaking some, I guess, breaking into new grounds where she has never left her state, and she will be coming out of her state to come get me. Now, I was planning to get to her in a different means, but she offered, and I just can't wait. It's going to be nice, because getting out of an airport and not knowing anyone, but seeing that familiar face is just going to be that much more easier to relax and know that there's someone waiting at the other end. So I want to say thank you, Crystal, for offering. So there's going to be some things that we have to do, and that is we're going to go and do some shopping for yarn and crafts like tools and all that sort of thing. And I know that I have gone looking online to get some yarn from stores that sell and ship to Canada, but I've recently discovered that sometimes those sites, they're different. Like if I visit a Joanne, say for example, website, and I punch in that I'm ordering stuff to be sent over to Canada, I lose out probably around 40% of all the items. So getting down to the States and having that 40% in hand that I can purchase, I'm going to take an empty suitcase with me. I'm going to fill it up with yarn, and I'm going to hit those stores that have those limitations for us getting yarn in Canada. And yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to try Crystal's home cooking. I've heard Midwest cooking is the best. Like there's a lot of deep fried things, and there's fried chicken and all those wonderful, delightful stews. And I heard Crystal tell me on her last live that they cook with a lot of butter. So I love butter, I love dairy. So that's all well and truly good. I'm up for it. And I'm also up for any of the healthy stuff that Eric wants to make. We haven't discussed what filming schedule we're going to have, or whether there will be a schedule. We're pretty much going to go with the flow, I think. And we would like to bring you along with all of the adventures that we go on. So I'm going to revert to Crystal to think about like whether or not there's a perfect time for filming, or if we just, you know, go with the flow, I guess. We'll be fluid and organic, and pick the camera up when we want to film. And I think that'll be a lot of fun for everyone to see. I'll be talking about things from a first-hand kind of point of view of not knowing much about the area, so there might be a few dumb questions and a whole lot of laughs. And I, you know, hope that you'll enjoy the journey with us both. With that, I think that catches you up on everything. I am coming back to talk very soon about some works in progress. As you can see, Hank, my man form, is wearing a cardigan that's half done, a little more over half. So it's at a good stage to stop and talk about it. And I have some other finished objects and some other whips. So yeah, a lot more to come, and we'll catch up in the next video. I hope you're well, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.